going on a backpacking trip tomorrow. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how I take all of this stuff and pack it into my bag for an overnight trip. And I'm going to show you how I do that in as real time as possible so you can pack with me. No cuts, hopefully, which this will probably be chaos. So let's go.
This is my show, gosh darn.
I have gathered everything that I need for this overnight trip around me to hopefully kind of like expedite this process. You don't have to see me go find it around my house. And what I'm gonna do is talk about each thing as I pack it into my bag. So rather than going through it individually, I'm just gonna like talk about it as I pack. Cool? So with that, let's start. Okay. The first thing is actually my bag. So I am using my Light AF ultralight pack. This is a 45-liter pack, I believe, but it has pockets that expanded up to 55 liters, so it's quite large. And the very first thing that's gonna go in this bag is my quilt. So give me 1 second. I'm just gonna kind of roll this top down, give myself some room, and start by just stuffing my quilt in the bottom of my bag. Regardless of what type of pack you are using, this step is likely going to be exactly the same. Your sleeping bag or your quilt should always be the first thing in your pack. So my quilt is the Enlightened Equipment Revelation quilt. I got this like a year ago and I adore it. And as you can see, I am just stuffing it straight into my pack. I'm not using a compression sack or a stuff sack or anything like that. I'm just shoving it into my bag because as I start to pack the other stuff into my pack, it's really going to weigh it down and compress it just from the weight of my extra gear. So yeah, first thing first, my quilt. Now, since my quilt is in the bottom, I'm also gonna stick with like putting the rest of my sleep system in the bottom. So that'll be my sleeping pad, which is the Nemo Tensor insulated. And I'm gonna shove that in like the bottom of my pack. Can you see in there? Wanna take a look? It's kind of like in my pack, but towards my spine, like that. Boop. And then also I'm gonna put in there my Philo Elite pillow, and my pillow strap that I made in one of my DIY backpacking videos, or DIY backpacking gear videos, I should say. So yeah, that's all my sleep stuff in the bottom, just like that. The other thing I'm gonna stick in here at this time are also my sleep socks. These are a pair of socks from Tough Cutie. They're the same type of socks I'll be hiking in, but I just love having a pair of clean socks when I go to sleep at night. So I'm gonna shove those in the bottom there as well. Cool. Kind of the next stuff that is going to go into my pack are some of the heavier things that are gonna sit in the middle of my pack, sort of close to my spine here. When you're packing your bag, you wanna think about having your really light, fluffy stuff on the bottom, like your quilt, and then your heavier things like your food or your cook system are going to sit in the middle of your pack, close to your spine, and then kind of fill in the gaps around all of that stuff and have the like quick to get to stuff on the very top. I'm just gonna show you, that's what this video is all about, so here we go. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I get to that, let's pack my tent. So my tent is the Nemo Hornet Elite Osmo one-person tent. If you watched a video that I did with Eric Hansen backpacking in Buckskin Gulch, he was using a Hornet Elite Osmo, and I was so jealous of it that I asked Nemo if they would send me a one-person tent version of that, so they did. This is my first time taking it out, so this will be its maiden voyage. I can't believe I finally got it right when we're doing something live.
Hold on, question for you, Miranda.
Yeah.
Have you opened that at all?
I have. I opened it and I made sure that there were no silica packets in it.
That's what I was asking about.
That was literally the only thing I checked. I haven't even set it up. I've just assumed that I'll be able to figure it out at camp, which I wouldn't recommend you do. I would recommend that you set your gear up before you go backpacking, but I'm a professional, so I can make stuff up.
Is that what you are?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. So this tent is really light and really small and really thin. So I'm actually going to just slide this in the side of my pack on the inside. You want to take a look in there? So this is kind of going into my pack on the side, boop, right like that. Now, a lot of the time, what I will do when I'm packing my tent is I will actually separate the tent poles from the body and the rainfly of the tent, and I'll pack the body and the rainfly into my pack, and then I'll take the poles and I'll like shove them down the side separately. But because this tent is so narrow and compact in its bag, I can just put that towards the side. Oh my gosh. No! I was really trying not to burp. Excuse me. Okay, cool. So tent is in there. Sleeping bag is in there. Sleep system is in there. It is time to move on to our heavier stuff. So the next thing that I really want to get into my bag is actually my food. My food is going to be packed in this tiny bear canister. If you can see, little bitty baby bear canister. And I have not very well packed this right now, so we're actually going to go ahead and pack it together. So let me separate out a couple of things. I laid out all of my food yesterday or the day before just to make sure I had enough calories, but now we're going to properly pack it. So the first thing that's going to go in here is my breakfast for the morning at camp, because I won't need that right away. And then I'm also going to pack my coffee in there. Oh, actually, you want to see this? Farm to Summit double shot latte. This is a new one for me I've never tried before. So that's going to go in. And I'm also going to put in my packets of tea and my little LMNT sticks. I am also going to keep out a packet of LMNT and just leave that here for now because I'll want that when I'm actually hiking and backpacking. And I will get to talking about LMNT and where I'll store that and how I'll use it a little later in our packing process. Now, I'm also going to keep out my stuff for my lunch on trail. So that is these little pita rounds here.
What are they called?
Pita rounds. Pita rounds?
Oh, pita.
What did you think I said?
I thought you said Peter Rounds. I was like, that is not what they're...
Pita rounds. Yeah, Peter rounds, exactly. That's like, Peter Rounds sounds like a British detective.
Peter Rounds on the case.
Yes, my Peter rounds are going to stay out along with, I pull it together, along with this, which is this hiker's hummus from Ubu. I got this at Garage Grown Gear's website, and I'm super excited to test it out. So I'm going to have that left out, and then also this tiny stasher bag of olives. So that's all kind of like my lunch stuff. I'm also going to leave out a snack bar, and then I will pack the rest of my food, which is essentially my bars, my extra stuff, my dinner at camp, and my little rehydration pouch are going to go into my bear can. See? Boom. Just like that.
Nice.
Nice. Now, the reason I'm leaving my lunch stuff out is because I want to have this easily accessible and not like in my bear canister, so that when we stop for lunch on trail, or if like I just want to eat as soon as we get to our campsite, I can do that. So I'm actually going to put my lunch stuff, including my spork for mixing my hummus, in this little 3-liter stuff sack from Osprey. So spork is going to go in there, hummus, olives, and pita bread. And then I may also pick up some like mushroom or beef jerky, just like something else, maybe some cheese or whatever, and that'll just go in there too, and then I'll pack this on the outside of my bag. Now, my snack bar and my packets of LMNT are actually going to go in my fanny pack. So I'm going to set those aside with some of my other smaller things that'll go in the fanny pack, and I'll show you how I pack that in a second. Also, I have this huge bag full of neon gummy worms. See? Like a bag of gummy worms.
See those real fast.
Dude, stop. Thank you, yum. I'm of the opinion that any kind of gummy candy is like the best on a backpacking trip. So gummy worms or gummy bears or just like gummy watermelons, whatever. Those are my favorite backpacking snack. So we're going to keep this bag also easily accessible. Okay, really quick here. If you look in my bear can, this is a small bear canister, but there is still so much room in here. So I don't want to just chuck this into my pack with it being like mostly empty like that. So I'm actually going to pack in a couple additional things that I'm not going to need until I get to camp into my bear canister to save that space. And that is going to be the toiletries kit. This is my little tiny toiletries kit. I'm not really gonna show you a ton of stuff in here. I basically have like my little face washcloth thing, which so many people have asked me about. So I will put a link in the description for where you can buy this. It's not a backpacking specific item, but it works really well. So I'll put a link in the description for that. I also have a little bar of soap and some like toothpaste tabs in a container. You know, just like my random little toiletry things are all in there. And I'm not gonna need those until we get to camp. So those are gonna go in there. And in addition to that, I'll probably also put my headlamp in my bear canister, because again, I'm not gonna need it until we get to camp, especially because the hike that I were doing to camp is really short. It's like maybe max 4 miles. If I was doing a much longer hike into camp and I thought I might be hiking after dark, I would keep my headlamp accessible. But because I won't be, I'm just kind of trying to save space in my pack. So I'll be putting this in my bear can. Oh, and this is the Nightcore headlamp, which has like a stretchy band on it. I actually got this in one of my very first Garage Grown Gear boxes, and I didn't think I would like it when I first got it, but it's turned into my very favorite headlamp. So that's gonna go in there, and then my tent lights as well, which are completely unnecessary, but they add a certain je ne sais quoi to my campsite, so I like them. Those are gonna go in my bear can as well. Oh, these are the Big Agnes Mountain Glow tent lights. So in this little bag of tent lights, if you wanna just see what they look like, they're kind of these like stringy lights. And then there's a battery pack in here as well, right there, boom. And then I also actually have a few spare batteries in here too, just in case. And those are spare batteries that I can use for my lights. I can use them for other devices. Just kind of keep them all in there. So that's gonna go in. Let me see, what else could I pack in there that I'm not gonna need until I get to camp? That's probably it, actually. Oh, pack my booties, actually. That makes sense. Yeah, we'll pack my camp booties. I could shove these in the bottom of my pack. We may as well take up space, so. All right, so these are my little Enlightened Equipment Torrid camp booties. I actually got these on the recommendation of Taylor, the New Hampshire hiker, who's pregnant. Congratulations, Taylor. And these are the coolest little booties ever. So I'm gonna stuff those in, and we'll have those handy when we get to camp. I think the very last thing I'm gonna put in here is actually this little bag, which is my luxury items bag. This has in it my earplugs for sleeping. It has the dice to play this game called Cosmic Wimp Out, which is our all-time favorite camp game. And then I have a couple of, like a little notebook in here for recording scores of Cosmic Wimp Out. And I also have a Write in the Rain pen. So none of this stuff will be needed until we get to camp. So I'm gonna put that in my bear can as well. Obviously, if I was doing a much longer trip, I would have more food in my bear canister. But since I'm not doing a longer trip, I'm just doing an overnight, I'm just trying to stuff as much stuff as I can in my bear can. And we will close it. Boop, ta-da. All right, so this is far and away the heaviest thing that is going to go into my pack. So I actually want to show you how I'm going to pack it in here. So Rainer, you might want to kind of get in a little closer here, because I think this is helpful to see. Okay, so with a larger bear canister than this one, like if you have one of the bigger size, you'll want to pack it in your bag like this. Imagine you have a larger bear canister. You want to kind of pack it on its side into your bag. Because I have a smaller bear canister, I'm actually going to turn it and pack it this way. The only problem with packing my bear canister like this in my pack is that this can be kind of uncomfortable against my back if I don't put something between this and my back. That totally depends on what type of pack you are using, so don't like assume that's going to be the case, but I'm just going to tell you that because it's going to affect how I pack. So I'm going to go ahead and take this now. I'm going to put it into my pack. And I want to try and keep it as close to the back of my pack as possible. So as you can see, now that my bear canister is in there, there's a lot of extra space in the front here. And I want to stuff stuff into my pack in this front section to keep my bear canister from sliding forward. Because my food is so heavy, if this bear canister slides forward, it's going to really like start to I said food is heavy, right? Not that my pack is heavy, because my food is so heavy.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I said that, okay? My pack's not heavy. But yeah, because my food is so heavy, I don't want it to slide forward towards the front of my pack. I want it to stay close to my spine, because if it slides forward, it can throw me off balance. So I want to stuff some things in around here. Another option for packing a small bear canister is to actually turn it sideways like this, boom, and then just pack some things in around the side. I don't generally do that, but now that I'm looking at this pack and looking at where this tent is, I might actually do that and then just put my stove there. Right here.
Oh.
I know. Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe we will go ahead and pack that like that. We may as well. We've got more space now, and then I'll just shove some things in around there. Yeah. This is what you see in real-time packing, is that like sometimes what you have planned for packing your bag doesn't work. So yeah, we'll actually keep our bear canister sideways like that, because now what I'm going to do is pack my stove and my cook kit into my pack. So I have this little Gossamer Gear, I think it's called like a pot koozie. I actually just lost the bag that goes with my pot normally, sadly. So I've switched to using this Gossamer Gear pouch. But in here I have my stove in my pot. Boop. All right, I'm going to show you. There's my pot, my Snow Peak pot. I have my MSR Pocket Rocket stove. I have a fuel canister that I think has fuel in it. Yeah, that's good. And then I also have my windscreen that I made in my pot as well. So all of that is going to slide into this pot koozie. Normally, again, I would just be using like a mesh bag that came with my pot, but I lost it. So we're using this instead. And then I will take this and shove that in the side of my pack, also close to my spine. Cool? You still with me, Rania?
I'm still here.
Great. Love it. All right, so now I can go ahead and fill in some of these gaps and spaces. Now that I've shoved all my stuff down in here, I've compressed down my quilt, I can pack some things in those gaps. So we are going to start by filling one of those gaps with my rain jacket. This is my Outdoor Vitals rain jacket. I will hopefully not need it, so it can go inside my pack. I'm just going to shove that in there, kind of way down at the bottom. Fill that gap down there. And then I think
You need to remind people about the rule about if you don't bring a rain jacket.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So there is a rule that is science. It's a science rule. If you don't pack a rain jacket, it will rain. Like regardless of what the weather says, if you don't pack some kind of rain protection, it will rain.
This is a secret that's been known by big meteorology for a very long time. And they just don't tell us.
They don't. Yeah, they just let us all sit in the dark. But yeah, it is the law. It is the rule. You must pack rain protection. If you don't, it will rain. So I don't make the rules. I'm just sharing them. Okay, cool. So now I've shoved my jacket down in there. I'm kind of like running out of stuff that I want to like shove into my pack, which is good. I mean, that's a positive thing. But I'm going to pack a few more things in there. Probably just my jacket, which I'm going to unroll. Oh, and this is my Enlightened Equipment Torrid insulated jacket. I'm just going to kind of shove that in the side there and pack it down around my stuff. Boom. Just like that. Cool. And there we have it. Now, pretty much that is everything that's going to be on the inside of my pack. So the rest of this stuff is actually going to get packed on the outside of my bag. So I'm just going to, for now, roll down the top of my pack. Just kind of get this out of the way. Did we just totally lose the sun?
Just a cloud inside.
Right, we lost the sun! It's gone! It's gone missing!
You have to sacrifice someone to the sun god.
All right, boom. Cool. So now for the stuff that goes on the outside of my pack. I'm going to start with my essential things. So my first aid kit, which is packed in this very cute little bag from Space Bear Bags. That needs to go in a spot where I can very easily access it. So I'm actually gonna put that in one of my stretch pockets on the side of my pack. If your pack has a brain or anything like that, obviously that will work. You just wanna put it somewhere where you have really easy access to it. So for me, that's one of these stretch pockets on the side. And on the other side, in my other stretch pocket, I'm going to put my poop kit. I keep my poop kit really easily accessible, even if I don't think I'm gonna need it, just because I have this fear of desperately needing to poop while I'm hiking and not having access to a poop kit, and that makes me really nervous. So I keep it easily accessible at all times. In here, I have my Human Gear bidet. I have my Bogler Co. trowel. And then I also have some emergency toilet paper in a little plastic bag and some emergency tampons, just in case. Not for pooping. Those are for periods.
I think we gathered that. Yes.
I never my poop kit, so cool. So poop kit goes in my other stretch side pocket. I'm making this look a lot harder than it actually is. There we go. We're just gonna shove that way down in there so it's out of the way. Boom. There we go. Cool?
Oh.
Alrighty. Now, there's a couple other things that I want to keep on the outside of my pack, and those are my water filter, my pocket knife, and my repair kit, which is currently in this little pill bottle because I made myself a backpacking repair kit, and so that's what we're taking. And then I also want to have my fleece from Sam Bob easily accessible, and I want to have my buff easily accessible. So I'm going to take my Sam Bob fleece, and I'm actually going to shove that. Oh, no, I lied. I'm not going to do that. I was going to put this in first, but I'm going to put it in last, actually. So I'm going to put my repair kit in this front pocket, just like way at the bottom. I'm going to take my Opinel pocket knife, which is primarily for whittling at camp. Just going to put that in the bottom. I'm going to take my water filter and my water bag. This is the Canuck Outdoors, I think 2-liter water bag. And then I have my Sawyer Squeeze water filter and a little connector cap that allows me to connect this to my Canuck water bottle to filter water. I'm going to take that whole system and just shove it in this pocket. Boop, right like that. And then I'm going to take my sandals, my camp shoes, and I'm going to slide those in as well. And then we're going to take my gummy worms. We're going to put those in the back. Dude, come on. No, hold on. You can wait till tomorrow when we are backpacking to steal a gummy worm from me. Right? So yeah, my gummy worms are gonna go in there as well. And then I'm gonna take my little lunch sack that I made up, and I'm gonna shove that in this pocket. So basically all the stuff that I want quick access to is in this outside pocket.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Approximately how close is your lunch to your food kit there?
Not that close. Listen, I'll move it closer to the first aid kit. Does that make you feel better? Are you happier? It's not like there's any poop on the poop kit. Ideally, it's poop free.
I know, but it's just about the thought.
Or whatever. Sometimes I put a water bottle there, so I have a water bottle next to my poop kit.
Yeah, I think I do that too, actually.
Yeah, geez. Okay, so anyway, in this stretch pocket, I have my sandals, I have my water filtration, I have my pocket knife, I have my repair kit, and then I also have my lunch here, and the last thing I'm gonna take is my jacket and just shove that in the outside. Now, obviously there's a ton of room still on the inside of my pack, so if I wanted to, I wouldn't have to have all this stuff shoved in the outside. I could put my lunch in my pack on the top. I could put my sandals strapped to the top of my pack. Like, that's all totally fine. This is just how I generally pack at first, especially if I'm doing a trail where I think I'll be doing some water crossings or I anticipate that I might need some of that stuff. I just don't like packing it into the top of my bag, so I'll just shove it on the outside pocket. But do make sure that you're not putting super heavy things on this outside pocket, because that will mess up your balance and you will be like pulled backwards while you're hiking. So This is definitely like a personal preference thing. I tend to shove a lot of stuff in this outside pocket because I just like my bag staying closed when I'm hiking. Cool, okay, so that is that. Now, we've got a couple more things to pack, and one of them is a pretty special item that I'm bringing for the very first time, and that is this chair from Nemo. This is another thing that I discovered when I was backpacking with Eric Hansen. This is the Nemo Moonlight Elite chair. This chair weighs, I think, a pound. Is that right? Maybe less than a pound. It weighs so little. And so I'm bringing this on my backpacking trip. I would not normally bring a chair, but we're doing it this time. So I'm gonna find the side that has the poop kit, and I'm gonna take my chair and I'm gonna shove it in this outside pocket.
Ultralighters are like, it weighs an entire pound.
I know. They're like, that's ridiculous. Listen, hike your own hike, people. This is another thing where I could totally put this on the inside of my pack. I could definitely like strap this elsewhere, or if it starts to be a nuisance, I can put it on the inside. But for this hike that I'm doing tomorrow, I think that we're probably gonna be stopping for lunch and like kind of relaxing for a little bit at some point. And so I just wanna have this easily accessible. So it's going right there. My buff, oh, I meant to put that on the outside too. Boop, there we go. And now on the other side, this other side pocket, I'm going to put my Nalgene. So I'm taking a ultralight Nalgene. This is one of the Nalgenes that's made from HDPE instead of Triton plastic. I like these because they're a little bit lighter than standard Nalgenes, actually half the weight of standard Nalgenes. But I just love using Nalgenes when I'm backpacking. It's really helpful for me to have something with a wide mouth that I can put my electrolytes in, or that I can like fill with water to measure how much I need for food or whatever. So I definitely love having a Nalgene. So that is gonna go on the outside there. Now this one's not full of water. Before I leave tomorrow, I will totally fill this up, and I will leave this as well as my other water bottle, which is this Canuck one. I'll leave these totally full, and I won't drink any water from them in the car on the way to the trailhead because I want to start fresh with 2 liters of water. Sure, yeah. That goes there. And now, the last thing we need to pack on the outside of my bag, I believe, is my little foam pad. So this is a thin light pad from Gossamer Gear. I got this thing, gosh, like a year, oh, how long have I had this? I'm not sure. Maybe a year ago, is that right? I can't remember.
I think it was about a year.
Just about a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is essentially just a really thin 1/8-inch thick piece of foam that can be used as a sit pad. It can be used to organize gear. I love this thing. And I'm particularly bringing it on this trip because I actually have started a new like workout routine, and I have a stretching exercise I have to do while we're backpacking. So I'm bringing this as my like stretching mat. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and attach this to the bottom of my pack. This could also go on the top of my pack. It doesn't really matter.
Wait, before you do that,
Yeah.
when you said you can use it to organize gear, what do you mean?
Oh, what I mean is that like if you ever come to a backpacking site or a campsite and you have like a really dirty ground or a bunch of grass, or you want to like spread your stuff out and be able to see it, if you lay this down, you can actually put all your things on it. So you can be like, you know, there's my watch, here's all this, and you can see your stuff really easily. Whereas if you're just putting your stuff down in the dirt or in the grass, it's easy to kind of lose track of things. So I like to have this when I'm camping. It's also really awesome when I'm like backpacking and cooking, when I can like grab my cook stuff and set up my food and my bear canister and just sort of see everything laid out. Yeah?
Yeah.
Great. So we're gonna strap that to the outside. Couple little folds. I will say that these foam light pads are not the most durable. Mine is already very taped up with tenacious tape. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just really nice to have. We're gonna slide that through these 2 straps, and then we'll attach that. Cool. Boom. Oh my God, I just remembered that this pack has that bottom stretchy pocket. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna actually unpack something really fast. I'm gonna unpack my camp shoes. I completely forgot that my Light AF pack has this stretchy pocket on the bottom that fits my camp shoes perfectly. So let me just reorganize stuff here really fast.
Yes, the obligatory repack.
I know, yeah, that's so true. I feel like I pack and unpack so many times. Even now as I'm packing my bag up, I'm like, I could probably change that. But this is pretty much how I pack. So yeah, stretchy pocket. We're gonna slide my camp shoes in there. How cool is that? Boom. All right. I don't know if that's actually what that pocket's for, but it does work perfectly for that. Okay, now kind of getting down to my last couple little things here. So let me start by just strapping my Kula and pee kit to the outside. So this is my pee funnel. This is from Human Gear. It is a foldable pee funnel. I've tried a ton of different pee funnels in the past. This one just works really, really well for me, and I've loved how light and packable it is. So that's my pee funnel. If you're like, what's a pee funnel? That's great. It probably means that you don't need one, but this essentially allows me to stand to pee instead of having to like squat down. So I can kind of hold this between my legs and pee freely while standing. So there's that.
Did you ever think you'd be a person who said the sentence, I've tried many different pee funnels?
No, actually, I didn't anticipate that. So yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I didn't think I'd ever talk about pee or poop as much as I do, but here we are. So pee funnel. I also have a little container of hand sanitizer, and then I have, of course, my Kula cloth, which says, "This is my Kula, gosh darn." This is actually our brand Kula. Like this is my Miranda Goes Outside Kula. And I think that we still have a couple of these left. So if you want to order one, get it now because once they're sold out, they're totally gone. So there we go. Now I'm going to strap this on the outside of my pack just to one of these like loops. I'll probably just strap it here. But yeah, sorry, you want to see that? I just have these little gear loop attachments. I'm just going to connect it there. I will likely, while we're hiking, ask Abby or Rainer to like get this for me if I have to pee. Sometimes if I'm hiking alone and I don't want to have to take my pack off, or I don't want to have to ask a friend to touch my pee funnel, which I haven't even asked you if you're okay with that. I just assume that they're fine with it. But yeah, if I'm hiking solo, I'll sometimes actually clip this down here, like on the hip belt of my pack, so that I can access it really quickly. It's not ever like smelly or covered in urine or anything like that. It's just a little cloth, and so I'll clip it there so I can get to it quickly. And now we have come to my fanny pack. Okay, hold please. I need to take a sip of water. All this talking. Cool. Okay, so we are on to my fanny pack. So if you saw my pack here, sorry, I'm gonna show this to you one more time. My pack doesn't have any hip belt pockets. It's just a hip belt, but no pockets. So I carry a fanny pack with me when I'm using this bag. And I have this one here that is from Light AF. This is actually a not yet released pattern that we designed with Light AF that I'm taking out on this trip. So stay tuned. If you want to get one just like this, you can actually order these. We're doing pre-sales coming up here very soon, if not today. They might be available today on our website when this video goes live. We'll see. But yeah, I'm taking this little Light AF fanny pack. I am going to pack in here my Garmin InReach Mini, which is my GPS messenger, my chapstick that has SPF, my hand cream is also going in here. And before you're like, I can't believe you're bringing lotion, Miranda, I hear you. But I've done a number of desert backpacking trips this year where my skin has gotten so dry that it's been like painful and cracked and red. And so now I am back to bringing lotion with me to prevent that. And then also in my little fanny pack, I'm gonna pack my snack bar for when I'm hiking, my sunscreen, which is this Sunbum 30 SPF stick sunscreen, some insect repellent. This is Ben's 7 hours of protection insect repellent. That's gonna go in there too. And then, of course, I'm going to pack 2 sticks of LMNT. If you don't know this by now, LMNT is far and away my favorite electrolyte drink mix powder, And I swear by this stuff, not only when I'm hiking and backpacking, but also when I'm at home. So I've actually packed some element in my bear canister, but I'm taking 2 sticks with me and putting them in my fanny pack. For me, that's less about needing to have 2 sticks to drink while I'm hiking and backpacking, and it's more about having an option for myself or for someone else that I'm hiking with. I find that so often when I start to feel really bad when I'm hiking or like exerting a lot of energy or effort, if I start to feel kind of ill and weak and sore, if like my muscles hurt, I get a headache, it's most often because I desperately need to replenish my electrolytes. And LMNT is not only so amazing at doing that, but it's also really delicious. So I always have it on hand in case I think I might need that. And I find it to be really awesome to add to my water bottle, especially when I'm like a mile or so in on a hike. So LMNT goes in there. LMNT is actually the sponsor of this video, and LMNT has been an amazing supporter of my channel. So if you haven't yet tried LMNT, make sure you go to the link below, which is drinklmnt.com/MirandaGoesOutside, and place an order there, and you'll actually get a sample pack of 8 of LMNT's amazing flavors. And to all of you who've reached out to me and been like, oh my gosh, I love LMNT, it's helped me so much, I'm so excited to hear that. I'm totally with you. If you haven't tried it, you should definitely go check it out. Cool. All right. What else goes in here? Oh, my sunglasses. So I have my Gooder sunglasses. Boop. I'm gonna put those in my fanny pack too. Just like that. Now, I, in normal situations, will also have my like mic pack and my other stuff for filming video on the trail. I'll like keep some of that stuff in this fanny pack too, so it's not totally full right now, so I have a little bit of extra space for that. But I'm actually going to put my phone, which would normally be stuffed in the stretch pocket on the outside, I'm actually going to put that on this shoulder strap where I have this phone pocket that I actually made. If you want to make a phone pocket like this, I have a DIY video coming out really soon that shows you how to make this, as well as how to make that little pill bottle repair kit that I packed as well. So my phone will go in there like that. Boop. And then in my other pocket, I'm going to put my Canuck bottle. So this is a little stretch pocket that's designed for like a smart water bottle, but it nicely fits this Canuck soft bottle too. Just like that. And then I will wear my fanny pack. And there you have it. That is everything packed for my overnight trip. I do want to weigh this pack and show you how much it weighs, but before I do that, I really quickly also want to show you what I'm wearing on our hike tomorrow. So let me set this to the side. Let me set this to the side. Boop. Let me pull out my clothes.
Oh, shoot.
What?
I cut the camera, it's
No.
overheating.
Oh no! Okay, clothes. Great. So I like to lay out all my clothing before a trip so that I can just wake up in the morning and put it on. Makes me feel nice. So I'm going to be wearing tomorrow my Terrakaya sports bra. Boop. This crop top that I actually sewed myself. So you can't buy that. And then on top of that, I'm going to wear my sun hoodie from REI. This is the Sahara sun hoodie. This thing is awesome. My entire crew uses this. We all love it. So we're gonna pack that as well, or wear that, I mean. And then on my bottoms, I'm going to wear this, what?
On my bottoms?
On my bottoms. On my bottom? Right, on my bottom. I have one bottom. It's just confusing because we call pants pants, not pant. Anyway, we can't cut this, remember? So stay in it. Okay, so for my under stuff, I'm wearing this pair of Yonderwear underwear. Yonderwear is a tiny brand that just recently launched. And then I also have my Tough Cutie socks. I wear low hiker shoes, these ones here, but I actually like to wear taller crew socks because I don't like stuff getting into my shoes and my socks. So I wear taller socks. And then I have my Nara pants. These are super awesome pants that have a zipper that runs through the crotch that actually makes it way easier to stand to pee without having to take your pants off. So if you are someone who can't just like unzip your pants and like whip out your, never mind. And then I'm gonna be wearing this Skida hat that's covered in chili peppers. The name of the pattern is Hot Stuff. Isn't that cool? So that'll be my hat situation, and then my watch, which is actually dead right now, but this is the Instinct Solar watch from Garmin. Actually, the Instinct Solar got an update recently, and I think the new upgraded version of this watch is even better, but I adore this watch so much. If you are looking for a good like GPS watch that integrates really well with a map and with like a GPS system and with your heart rate monitoring, all of that, I cannot recommend this one enough. So there's that. And then shoe-wise, I'll be wearing these Zero shoes. I can't remember what the style is on these, like what the name of these shoes are, the Zero somethings. I got these a while ago, and I'll be totally honest with you all, I don't really like them. I keep thinking I'll like them better. I keep being like, well, maybe this is the trip where I fall in love. Boop. And this is all of my stuff that I need for an overnight backpacking trip. With that, let's go ahead and weigh my pack actually to see how much it weighs. Yes? This pack weighs a little over 20 pounds. Like 20, 22 pounds. Cool. Really quickly, now that I have all my stuff packed up, I'm actually gonna put my pack on. Feels good. How do I look? Is it professional? So,
maybe not in the jorts.
I knew you were gonna comment on my jorts. Basically, I'm putting my pack on now, and I'm just trying to make sure that everything feels good, that everything's sitting correctly. I don't have any like weird hot spots in my spine. I feel like the hip belt is seated well, all of that. Again, it's like I've been backpacking for years. This is still something that I like to do after I finish packing my bag, is weigh it and then just make sure that everything feels good on my body. With that, I think that I'm looking at Rainer to make sure I haven't missed anything, but right? I mean, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
That's basically just how I pack my bag. So I know that this is a long video, but I hope it was helpful for you if you have never packed a bag before, or if you're just, you know, looking for some help on how to pack your bag for backpacking. I think that it's really handy to pack alongside someone else. So if you're packing up for a trip, put this video on, pack with me, you know, I guess do them yourself too.
Nailed it.
I was like on such a roll. So again, I know this is a super long video. I hope it's been helpful. And if you liked this and you want to see me do more real-time style videos, let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you outside. Woo! I like the jorts.